I was watching the thumbnail and I was thinking, what are we going to say? Honestly, what are we going to say? I mean, I'm laughing a little bit. You're laughing, but you're crying inside, honestly. But guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. It was supposed to be celebratory. You play against the amateurs, last game of the season. It has been, one of the worst years of Ajax in Ajax history. But it can always be worse. And we saw it tonight. So we lost 3-2 in the Dutch Cup second round. We're out of the KNVB beker. Thank you, Papimento. Thank you, Sahbi. And thank you, Luke, for just coming to this stream after the game. Really appreciate it. We have a lot of people watching, a couple of people also commenting. Let's go talk about the game first. A big apology also for the ones, I know a couple were excited today because there were a couple of contenders to win the free shirt giveaway. But yeah, nobody can expect this to happen, to be honest. Sahbi, let me go with you first. I see that you at least also wore a nice sweater, Christmas sweater. That game, man, what happened? Seriously, I mean, in all honesty, what did we just see?
We saw an amateur team lose from another amateur team. That's what we saw. It was a disgrace, an embarrassment. The way we played, we don't have any excuses. We can blame the pitch, but there are no excuses. We played like shit. The tempo was so extremely low. The way we passed the ball, so slow. We were even in certain occasions we were mailmen, like bringing the ball to certain players instead of trying to pass the ball quite fast and hard. I mean, there are no words for it. Everybody was playing below par. Everybody. I can't mention one player who played a decent game. We played like shit, and they played with heart. They had nothing to lose, and they went for it, and they got it. They deserved it. I mean, I never thought we would hit rock bottom before, but we got a new chapter, man. And this chapter keeps on going. The book is not over yet. It's not written. It's not fully written yet, and it's just a shame. The fact that we came back to 2-2, that was already extremely lucky because we didn't deserve it in any way. But then if you, Marta, I mean, come on, Marta. That guy is not a defender. I don't know. Last season, he wasn't even able to get playing time. He wasn't able to. He didn't even get a chance. And now all of a sudden, he's our left back. I mean, I can't see this. I can't see this. And we got Sosa, who is on the bench. I'm not saying he is the perfect left back, but at least he has those crosses because that's what was missing all the time. I mean, there was no ball at all in the penalty box, and I really feel ashamed. And no words to explain more on what happened today, man. Seriously.
Poppy, let me go with you as well. Your reaction on the match, quickly.
So many mistakes. I mean, it starts with the coach for me. Hercules, third class, not in our level, but you change up the whole team thinking that we're good enough while this whole season we're struggling. So just play your best 11, man. And then, if we're up by 3 goals or something, change it around, fine. But he just changed the whole midfield, putting Linson and Taylor as controlling midfielders. Didn't work out. Their best position is more to the box anyway than being deep defending. Second ball wasn't ours. We didn't fight for the ball. The last goal, man, it's just one header that we lose, and then one guy is totally free in our box. How the hell is that possible? I mean, if you're playing man coverage on that position, why is he so free to shoot? And then you have, as an addition, the Galgenwaard being the FC Utrecht home ground. We always have bad luck there, I guess, because FC Utrecht is shit for the rest of the year. But when they play against Ajax, they're good. Well, the same happened with Hercules. Um, Everything was working out for them on the counter, one ball, and they could run the whole pitch. I mean, defensively, we're so weak. Nobody that has that meanness in them to get them over the edge, man. And I'm missing out a lot, and it's just I'm so annoyed and just ashamed actually of what we saw today.
All right, thanks, Puppy, for that one. Luke, across the pond, you were watching the ESPN channel, also what we were watching. Tell me, what's your reaction on the game?
It's pathetic. I tweeted not long ago. I couldn't tell which team was the amateurs on the night. You know, the other team completely deserved it. Hercules completely deserved it. Fought for everything, like Puppy said. You know, and then for some reason today of all days, you tried to go with a Hato and a 6 with Avila tucking inside when Avila's not played many games recently, any at all. And then for the first goal they score, he's out on the left, trying only to barge the man, not looking at the ball. Completely embarrasses himself, can't catch up. Can see it's so poor. Decision making today was so poor. So poor.
Yeah, guys, do you agree with what Papimento said, that this was not the game, even though it's amateurs, considering our season, to make these many changes? I mean, it's always easy to look back at it, but do you think that's also a very important factor, or you guys are no? It doesn't matter who you put there. You should win. What do you guys think, Sahbi? What do you think?
No, I fully agree with Papimento on this. I mean, we lost points in the last game, and you would think with this coach, second opportunity, you would get a team that goes for the win. And as he said, if you go up 2-3-0 during during halftime, you could easily change certain players. You can change 5 times, 5 subs. So play your best team, grow some confidence. In the meantime, it's the last game of the season of this year, so make it count. But what does he do? He changed positions, changed players, and things, and with this pitch as well, and things. Well, we can do it. We can do it in an easy way. That doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Everybody wants to win from Ajax. Everybody.
Do you guys feel we should raise? I mean, apart from the players who underperformed, do you guys feel also we should look at the coaching staff for the decision making?
In my view,
Yeah,
yes, of course.
yeah,
Absolutely.
me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you lose points against Sola, and then you come here. You should put your best team forward and just get the win. No joking around. And this felt like more of a training session in which the coach thought, "Let me give some minutes to the people that haven't played much." And I
But
don't think that's
in all fairness, they did say prior to the game, he did say, the coach, he did say that we should not underestimate the amateurs. So my question to you is,
It's just
did
words.
I'm sorry?
Sorry.
No,
It's
go
just
ahead.
words.
It's just words because
Always.
look. I just want to throw this out there, and I don't know. I'm not finding excuses, guys. Just to be clear, I mean, this is disgraceful. Just to be clear, also from my side, I don't think we deserved anything this game. But one question: if you make these many changes as a coaching staff, are you giving a message also to the team that we can do it also with not our starting or strongest squad that we've been playing in recent weeks, or is it too far fetched in your opinion?
that's exactly the message he gave, because he let other people start, and then again at halftime he changed the whole team because he needed a goal. So why not start with your best 11 and then change it up later if you're controlling the game? I'd rather go in the lead, Juan, than go conceding and then having to get that goal back, because we all know this team, they work fine just defending, waiting for the counter. That's not what you want as Ajax. You want to get the lead, let them come out of their box, and then we can start playing our position game. It's not smart to make so many changes, and it looked lethargic today. We didn't have any combinations, no 1-2s, no off the ball running. I mean, it took Guy to come in the second half to give some crosses in the box, to give some energy to this team, to run. I mean, even I would have done better in the duels. Guy, the second goal, I mean, he just lets them go inside, and just defensively was so weak, and that has to be changed. And I think even though they're so good with their crosses and defensively, and or with their attacking play. I mean, defensively, it's still lacking. And I'm talking about it takes too many touches to get the ball back. Even the midfield, I would say. When we lose a header, it's not about the header. It's not about losing that header. It's about getting the second ball. That's what I've always learned. But then they're looking at the ball, Juan. Where it's gonna fall? Let me just wait. Too easy for the opponent to get the better of you in this way. So for me, that whole midfield needs to change too. We've put too much trust in Taylor. He has enough time to change that, because the ball, in counter situations, Juan, especially, I don't want to see that ball going back. I want to see that ball going forward. And the most times, especially against this team, there was space. They were pressing us. They were moving up. Find it in your back, the opening, and not constantly going back. Make it a game. Your quality individually is better. Make it a game. Go for the opportunity. Go for the opportune chances. Nothing. No shots. No running, dribbling, getting something opportunistic. No. Just pass, and wait for the ball. I mean, it took Tahirovic to give a great ball to Broby. Where were the creative players? Terrible.
Luke, do you have anything to add to what Popimento said? And also, do you also feel like the coaching staff might have given a wrong message to the team or to the players?
No, I fully agree. As soon as you like they said, it's words. Sabi said it's just words. All you can do is say, oh yeah, let's not underestimate them. As soon as you change that team, that's what you've done, isn't it? I agree with both. There's not much else I can add, to be honest.
Can I, by the way, highlight Avila? I mean, we didn't mention his name.
Yes,
but
I will go to the comments.
Pathetic.
You stress Avila. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, man. I mean, pathetic. That guy is not a Ajax player. Did you see how he wanted to defend that guy? He thought it was rugby or something, or American football. He didn't look at the ball. He looked at him and he missed him.
I'll be honest with you, and you guys are going to hate me for it. I might be burnt on his channel, also in the comments.
Go ahead.
Avila is clear that he's not there. Clear. But I'm even questioning Sutalo, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
He wasn't that great as well.
I don't think he has shown he's an Ajax player yet.
He lost every header. Every header he lost.
He's a gem. He's very good, etc. He plays for the national team, and he was at Dinamo Zagreb. He was amazing. I haven't seen it. No. His passing is good. He's calm, etc. Defending-wise, he's a liability.
No, I haven't seen it as well. Indeed, I haven't seen it, but I can say, because there were rumors about Overmars being very happy with a 12 million, like it was the first bid, and he accepted it directly. Now I know why. Normally, you would always get a counter offer or you counter bid. You're like, okay, 12. No, I want 15, and then you go to 13. 12. Yes, let's go. Signing the documents. I know now why. It's embarrassing the way he played. And it's not his first game. Several games. At first, he said he's not a left back, and then he played as a center back. Also pathetic. It's embarrassing, and a lot of players. I mean, I had real hopes for Miko Tatsa, but he didn't show anything as well. He got his chance against Hercules, although the whole team was shit. But he didn't show it. He had some shots, but it was like he was playing in a kindergarten, trying to surpass his players, his direct opponent, which didn't happen. Maybe only once in the first half. His shots were okay, but he's not a team player at this moment. And yeah, it might be time to really look at the players now that we bought and see who can be ditched, because there are certain players who just can't get to that level that we seek.
Yeah, guys, just hold it for a moment. We will finalize the game analysis, and also about Miko Tatsa. I want to also ask you guys a question about it. Let me go to the comments, because there are comments raining, basically pouring out. Let me go first to the super chat. We received a super chat from Strasbourg. Steve, great channel. I'm not an Ajax supporter, but I love football, and you guys give excellent English commentary on Ajax. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Thank you for that. At least some good stuff tonight, but all right. Let me go a little bit to the other comments as well. A lot of people are very upset, very angry as well, which is totally understandable. Yeah, I totally agree, Aidon. Where do we even start? We just started talking, and we'll see how it goes. To be honest,
Just a new therapy session. We thought
it's-
we were over with the therapy sessions,
exactly. I thought we were done with the
Not-
therapy sessions. To be honest.
but oh man,
Yeah, Marvel Stock is saying, hey, this episode will last for 9 hours. My God, it was horrible. I don't know. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe a bit less. Progressivo is saying, guys, what a year. What a ridiculously shitty year. Totally agree. And he is also
Year and a
saying,
half.
I'm sorry, somebody wanted to react?
No, I just said it was a year and a half because actually last season was terrible too. So
True. I'm lost for words, to be honest. The frustration and anger are overwhelming after this year. Yeah, I feel the same way. Christian is saying, guys, just go live. Wish everybody a good Christmas and a happy New Year, and go offline. This doesn't even need to be talked about. Yeah, we're not going to talk only about the game. We have a couple of other things we want to discuss as well. Also, the Tadic article makes more sense now, even after
Super League,
I'm sorry?
the Super League also.
The Super League also today. Javid, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. There can't be any reasonable explanation how on earth amateur club scores 3 times against professionals, Ajax. Maybe in the first time, but 90 plus 3 minutes, it's time when pros should rely on their experience and get the result. Yeah, I totally agree, man. Totally agree. I mean, you can look at it so many angles and you're still thinking, how did it happen? Keith is saying, nothing more embarrassing than this. 18 plays, we not even played 10 matches that time, so I don't care about that situation. But this, losing against an amateur team who their players even have part-time jobs. Well, actually, we learned that one guy was a painter. The other guy was a psychologist. Yeah, I mean, the commentator was just giving us all their profession. That was great to hear. Why they're winning the game as well. Yeah, sarcasm has entered the chat as well. Nexus is saying fitting end to this awesome year. Exactly. Yeah, I think this was already discussed. Why does Marta play in this team? And it's not, honestly, I feel like it's too harsh even to blame Marta, to be honest with you. I mean, Sabi, you mentioned Marta, right? But we know if a young player comes into this team and this team is not working, it's even twice as hard. You understand what I mean? So I'm not going to really blame Marta for it. I blame more the coaching staff, to be honest. You understand what I mean? Because we see it. We see that defensively he has like a lot of groundwork to cover. But my question is to you guys, just quickly on Marta. When he got in, right? When he was substituted in, I don't know if Salahdin was on the bench, yes or no. So forgive me for that. But is Salahdin worse than Marta? Especially if you consider that they want to play like a left back that comes in the midfield, like Rensch does on the right side. Isn't that exactly what Salahdin can do? I'm just asking. I'm not saying Salahdin is the answer. I'm just saying, is he worse than Marta?
I'm just
definitely not.
Look, but let's analyze this because Marta comes in because of his speed. That's his biggest attribute, and we were behind, so we wanted to force the goals, right? But of course, it's going to make you vulnerable in the back. And I think because we were 2-0 down, he had to come up with Marta, or else he wouldn't have done it at all.
Exactly.
He was on the bench, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Salahdin. He was on the bench.
Oh, okay.
Today.
Right, good to know.
So,
Seedorf Dino is saying free Ajax. Yeah. When will they be free? When? Tell me when. We all want to know when are we going to see the Ajax that we're used to? I mean, the Ajax that we all want to see, basically, you know? I mean, it's terrible, man. Here we go. It's terrible. A lot of comments still. Tia is saying the coach underestimated Hercules. So she's basically agreeing to the suggestion we made. Tony is saying best wishes for 2024. We hope, I mean, to be honest with you, we wish you the best as well, and we wish everybody the best. And mostly, we wish Ajax the very best in 2024. Because another question to you guys: How long will the dark clouds surrounding the arena remain?
Until there's a new manager.
But even that, I mean, that's the worst part is, the worst part is of everything that's going on is we don't have a guarantee. We don't know if we're going to be better in a few months or next year. We don't know. We don't know what Cruz is going to do. We don't know who is going to appoint.
No, that's true. But we have to be fair. With Van Schip, we at least won games, and we gained confidence. He now went to Australia for the wedding of his son. All of a sudden, with this assistant coach being responsible for these 2 games, and we lose points, and we're out of the competition. I mean, is it maybe Van Schip who is the decisive factor within this squad by at least be efficient by winning games? He doesn't play always that great football with the team, but at least he's winning games, and that's what we need right now. I don't care now that much about the way we play, because that's that's like pretty far away. We need to win games. We need to finish third if possible, because I have full confidence that we can manage that. And from there on, we can see how we can take the next steps. First steps now are now taking points. I don't care now about those the way we play. Of course, we want to see it, but if you win 1-0 because of the way, because of the energy that we put in, etc., I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that at this stage.
Is that way of thinking, or I understand what you're saying, just to be clear, right? But I just want to ask you a question, and you guys can react as well, Luke and Popimento. That way of thinking, isn't that dangerous? Because we saw, and I've been mentioning this for weeks already, Sparta, we were on the right side of the score. NEC, we were on the right side of the score. Zwolle, they were better. We still managed 2-2, but it felt like a loss because we were leading 2-0. And now we saw this. Not only that, the other question I have is, does what happened today and also against Hercules, maybe Ajax have to rethink and get a manager as soon as possible? Or should we just stay calm, let Van Schip just finish the season?
I'm all for John Van Schip finishing the season, to be honest.
Okay.
He left to Australia for his son's wedding, so before that it went okay. Top 3 was possible. It's still possible. This is a cup game, has nothing to do with the league, but the level shown when the coach left is very bad. The way we defend in the transition, very bad. And maybe we need to consider something to help us on that pitch, because something defensively, something much stronger, something that can give us some calmness, because there's absolutely no calmness when a long ball comes to our defenders.
Luke, let me go to you, right? We drew your favorite coach, one of your favorite coaches, Knudsen. So we will be facing Bodo Glimt in 2 months' time. What's your view on that? Should we go with this Ajax and play them? Is there a serious chance if we play like this that we will progress to the next round?
No. No way. No way at all. This team today showed zero anything. They got wet. The most they did was get wet because it rained. So, okay, actually, in fairness, Bobby came on, and he held up the ball. So he actually, our most consistent player so far this season, other than Hato, actually came on and changed the game in a way, right? But this team cannot go to Norway, especially in Norway, where it's cold. They're not going to be able to. If they can't do it in a rainy night in the Netherlands, how are they supposed to do it in Norway, right? But I just want to highlight one thing actually. So I would be very happy if Van Schip stayed to the end of the season, unless Knudsen was available and they made a decision to end early, that kind of thing. But isn't it quite worrying that you kind of look at what Madara, etc., are doing on the pitch, on training, when the 2 games that Van Schip isn't here, they don't react to the coaches or anything like that. So does Van Schip take training the whole time? It seems like to me that he takes a lot of training and does everything, but when he's not here, nothing happens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It seems that way, and I would understand. And also what Popimento said, Van Schip leaves, and we see what's happening now. We drew against Zwolle, we lost against Hercules. But the only thing I would say to that is that we know, we don't know for sure, but what was communicated beforehand and also during the absence of Van het Schip was that they would be in contact all the time. So Van het Schip would approve what's been going on.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is that, okay, so when you're a player and you need direction, you look to the person who gives the instructions is the coach.
Yeah.
So then when you look to the bench, you don't see your coach and you see your assistant and there's no reaction.
But Luke,
what do they offer, right?
Players, man.
No, absolutely. No. I know. And what I'm saying, I don't know what you're trying to insinuate, but what I'm saying is it's worrying that the team can't perform when the coach isn't here, not even to the assistant. No, that's my point. Is that it's worrying that it's got to that point where the team can't even perform, when the assistant's there and the other assistants are there, just to play normal football. If you go out and you lose 2-1, 1-0, you can lose football matches, but to lose in that manner with no coach there, and they look headless. So I just wanted to highlight that point. But going to Norway, no chance playing that way. Not at all.
And Juan, I just wanted to ask you, right? We get a ball in the counter, in the transition, and then you see the defenders walking back.
True.
I never see that before at Ajax. They always stand their ground. They keep the compressed. The midfielders always pressing on the ball. There's no way for the opponent to give a long ball that easy. So how are they doing it? It's not only a defensive. No, but it's not only a defensive mistake. It's not only the defenders that are a mistake. This is also a midfield problem. There is no press on the ball when people get on the ball on the midfield. They have enough time to give the long balls, and it comes perfectly to their strikers. That's very weird to me. I mean, we're missing an Edson Alvarez, but everybody was happy when he left. So what's happening here?
Not everybody was happy, but yeah. Anyways, let me go to the comments quickly. We have another super chat also from Strasbourg Steve. When was the last time an upset this monumental happened in the KNVB Beker? If you're referring to Ajax against amateurs, this is the first time ever. So we're breaking records. Not the positive ones, breaking records.
Last season in general was Utrecht against Spakenburg, also in the same stadium.
Exactly. Tony is saying Marta doesn't have the quality for Ajax. And then, here we go. Armenians is saying, what was that? Yeah, we don't know. We're trying to make sense out of it, but we still don't know what happened. Björnen is saying, when we got a completely new staff, then we're going to see the Ajax we want to see. I'd rather play with Knudsen against Bodo instead of against Bodo with Knudsen. Exactly. Let me see what else we have, guys. Keith is saying, anyone can help translate what the game said about Hercules Ajax in 1917? Do you guys understand what he's asking?
I haven't heard.
I think someone replied to it, maybe.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
okay,
I think that was it.
Go. Thank you for that. Club Hercules founded 1882.
I think that relates to it. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, I mean, so many comments, more than we're used to be honest. So it's taking a little bit more time. Let me see. What else do we have?
By the way, with regards to a coach, if there's an opportunity to get a new coach for the long term, I would definitely opt for that and not wait until the end of the season.
Okay, so you would rather, if there is an option available, the option that we want, just do it right away.
Yeah, just do it, because he can work with the squad or with his, especially if it's during the winter break, he can choose his players that he wants in, just like how Tenag did. He had that 6 months where he really got to know his players, got to get in the same tactics that he wanted, and then start off in a good manner. If you get somebody during the summer, you will have to start all over again. You have to know the players. You have to know tactics. It's going to be difficult, and I'd rather have somebody right now, but it should be someone who you really want and not someone just to fill in that position. Then he can already start with.
Can we already start appointing somebody before officially Cruz is appointed?
I don't know. I mean, we got in somebody from a technical division side. I don't know. It's unclear for me, but I can imagine that Cruz wants to have some decision power on this. But who said he wouldn't give it at this time.
Yeah. Let me go through the final comments, guys. If there's anything else you guys want to say about the game, we'll do it, and then we'll switch to other topics if you want. Puppy, is it even reasonable to make rational analysis, tactical remarks about this game? It's like our players never showed up.
I mean, it's still amateur level, so we made so many mistakes. You have to address them, I would say.
These mistakes because of mentality, sharpness, or quality? I've raised this question before to you against Zwolle.
It's mentality, it's focus, and it's team strategy, team balance, team chemistry.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make sense, man, how we defend, to be honest.
Yeah, Jan Dufek is saying, what about some copium, guys? Can we talk about Ajax vrouwen? Maybe we should, to be honest. Maybe that would be better for us, for our health as well, mental health. So
more positivity, at least.
More positivity. Aiden is saying, let's talk about the transfer window. Only thing to look forward to. We'll do that in a bit. Absolutely, we will definitely do that. Tony is already making a remark about the transfer window, saying, let's try to get Eriksen in the winter, in January. I mean, if there's only even 5% chance of that happening, I would go all in, to be honest.
That's not going to fix your mistake, though. We're lacking defensively. Eriksen is not going to help you defensively. It's going to help you on the ball, in control, but it's not going to help you in the transition defense, I would say.
Yeah, but maybe he will help also by setting a certain standard within the Ajax dressing room, which is clearly pointed out by Tadic in his interview, and we will touch upon that in a bit. Let me just go through two comments, and then we'll just switch to the other topic. Tina is saying, can Knutse from Bodo Glimt be an Ajax manager? Oh, sorry, play 4-3-3. Sorry. What do you think, Luke? Can he do that?
He's already doing that, right?
I'm sorry?
He's already doing that, right?
He's playing at Bodo.
Mm-hmm.
No, it transitions to like you know how like a Villa moved into the back three. He does like some kind of thing, but with the fullback instead of having a centre back step up. Yeah, but I worry about the players, like Papi says, in the midfield. Ajax, it's not like a formation really big issue. It's the personnel, isn't it? So, I just want to highlight two things. Sorry, where's Medic? Where's Medic? Right. I don't understand. You're struggling to win headers, you're struggling defensively. Try a different defender. I don't get it. It's almost like he's just gone. Was he even on the bench? I didn't even look at the bench, right? But you think if it's going wrong, the worst you could do is instead of going with the same defenders every time. So Tyler looks like he struggled today. You'd think you'd play if you're rotating the squad. It just makes sense. Also, Forbes. I am getting sick of this guy. Okay, this guy is doing my head in. He is so quick, but he always looks so too quick for his feet, and he looks like he has no brain. I know we spoke a lot about Robbie last season about his lack of intelligence, which is quite harsh in hindsight. But this guy looks like he's just got nothing. How are you passing the ball in front of goal when you can shoot?
Yeah, that one
was really.
I just don't understand.
Honestly,
Luke, he had 2 moments to shoot.
Right, twice. He even beat the man, and I think
it's a confidence issue. Then I think it's a confidence issue.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I think so. All right, guys. What do you guys want to talk about first? You guys want to talk about the January window? You guys want to talk about the Tadic article, or do you guys want to switch altogether and go to the Super League decision made today?
Let's go to Tadic, I would say.
Either way, it's all bad news. So
all bad news. All right, just quickly on Tadic, guys. The article on the VI, a very good article, by the way, a very in-depth article. He was very outspoken, very honest, even if you can say that, and he had a lot to say about Ajax and how he felt and how he feels. Do you guys think, by the way, he watched the full 90 minutes of this game, or did he turn his TV off as well for this one? What do you guys think?
After 10 minutes.
After 10 minutes. All right. Sabi, let me go with you first. Anything after reading that article of Tadic that stood out for you? Sabi, still with us?
Nope.
Sabi's freezing a little bit. Let me
I thought he was thinking. I thought he was thinking.
Luke, let me go with you first about that article.
I like the honesty. I thought he was fully in his right to talk about things to an extent. There are some things I wish he kept to himself, like the Overmars comment he made is obviously a very, sensitive situation.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that for the people that didn't catch the article? Maybe?
So Tadic in his article talks about how Overmars leaving damaged the club, and they should have done more to keep him there or protect him there, maybe suspend him or so, and then protect him and help him stay at the club. But in my opinion, you can't, once you've done damage to in that kind of perspective, you have to go. There's no room for it. But he's entitled to his opinion. I just think there are some things that you can keep to yourself and keep it quiet. But other than that, I found it really interesting him talking about inside the changing room, the dressing room, saying that he's happy with all the former Ajax players or the Ajax DNA, quote unquote, coming back to the club in recent times. And obviously where Ajax have started to improve again in terms of performances, getting wins and stuff, I felt like he could say something now, rather than when it's all down rock bottom prior to this match, adding more problems by commenting on it, and I liked him saying that he eventually wanted to come back as well as a coach, because it's always been his plan. I think he's always had a really good mentality that can only be positive to Ajax should he come back as a coach.
Yeah. Let me go with you, Pavimento. Anything you want to add to the article of Tadic? Anything else that Luke maybe didn't comment on?
I mean, I like the interview. I was happy that he was so honest. I thought, you can look at the mistake Overmars did and say it was an honest mistake. Now, I don't know if Overmars was charged, but he did get a ruling against him that he's not allowed to be or working in Holland anymore. So there must be something going on there. But for me, it's like a domino, right, Juan? You took one piece of that domino. Doesn't mean it doesn't move anymore. It just means the other decisions the RVC, the supervisory board did, leaving Edwin van der Sar as also the sporting director, making him. I mean, the problems didn't just start with Sven. The problem started the season before that, and they just took that sporting director job as something easy to do. Oh, oh yeah, just do it, man. Anyone can do it. I mean, even a fan can do it. You're
saying it felt like a snowball. It felt like a snowball.
Yeah, from there it just started. It was the first domino, but it doesn't mean that took Ajax all the way here. No, a lot of decisions from a lot of people came into this way to get us where we are now, and some of these people are still in the supervisory board. So not even consequences for them. We scapegoat Edwin van der Sar, but the biggest problem are these people that give Sven Mislintat the full slate to buy whatever he wants without any control, not even verifying if they have the quality for Ajax. Before that, Edwin van der Sar, I mean, Schreuder, the players he brought in, and this was with Tadic, with Blind, with most of our veterans. Now we're only talking about no leadership, etc. We had leadership, and it was still shit last season. So just the players we bought in, 2 seasons behind each other, just not Ajax quality, not Ajax material, and we need somebody that knows what to do there. And not. Do you agree?
Do you agree with the comment? Do you agree with the comment of Tadic that he made about Mislintat, particularly on the fact that he is somebody from outside of the culture of the club, outside Dutch football, Ajax DNA, etc. He's a German. You bring him in and you give him the keys to basically run the club technically. That's just not right. It doesn't make sense. Consider the history of Ajax, consider the history of Dutch football, etc. Does it make sense to you?
No. But you don't have a CEO, so the supervisory board has to have a certain control over what comes in. And you have to have a technical team that has a say in what kind of players can come in and what not. It should never be this way that a CEO is not there. Your coach is just new. And the sporting director that is also new has total say in everything in every player that comes in. For me, that's just crazy.
Luke, your opinion on that particular question?
Yeah, I don't think like the German culture is completely different. The way they do things over there could be completely different to the way it happens in the Netherlands. Okay, and the relationship that Overmars and Ten Hag had worked. So you could follow with that suit by when you get a technical director in, working with the manager, But even straight away, we knew it was going to be a problem when there was ifs and buts if they could work together. And then there was, he wanted to sign this player, didn't want to sign him. And it looked like they were working together and then wasn't when it comes to Stein and Mislintat. So I fully agree with Pavimento that, you know, there needs to be a technical team there that's able to make the decisions for the right of the club. But there was no CEO. You have a technical director who's new, that's been given £100 million by who he thinks has good potential, new manager, and that's it. And then just see what happens. That's kind of essentially what happened, isn't it? So
yeah. Absolutely. Sahbi, before I go to you on the same question, Christian is saying people thought you were done, man. You were just leaving.
I was, but I changed my
Sahbi
mind.
had enough. Let me go through a couple of comments regarding this topic, which I find interesting. Luciano is saying from the moment Tadic went away, so he left basically, we should have known something is wrong.
Yeah.
It was the first signal, basically. This is a very nice comment as well from Yushan. Thank you for that. I think this proves that club structure is more important than any manager. Buying players and changing managers will do absolutely nothing. Exactly. You have to have a structure. You have to have a direction. And it all has to be in place, right? It doesn't matter if one guy leaves, the other one comes in, etc. As long as they're, as Tadic said, safeguarding, you know, protecting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ajax culture. Correct? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
yes.
no, no. I don't agree because a coach does matter for me. The level of coaching, there is a level and there is difference. There is difference between a Marie Stijn and a Schreuder and a Ten Hag. There's a huge difference. So for me, you know, just a good coach is a good coach. And
but the way Tadic,
there's no backing.
Sorry, just quickly, the way Tadic spoke in the article, especially when he was talking about Overmars and Ten Hag, he's basically saying that they ran everything basically on the technical side, and they had much more, you know, of what they brought to this Ajax than we think they did. Because don't forget, we always said we were praising also, I'm not going to take anything from Van der Sar, but we were also praising Van der Sar, we were praising the whole technical team, etc. But it seems like, especially Overmars and Hag had the bigger piece of the pie when it comes to the success years.
They were on top of everything, and they took everything really seriously. So yeah, I mean, they deserve the praise. And yeah, go ahead, Puppy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say also, like, okay, we put Overmars on such a high pedestal as well, but don't forget he brought in Magayan. So everybody has an off day, an off season. Not all the players are going to work out, but if you look at Sven, what he brought in, most of them are failing till now. The only one holding up is Ramai, I would say.
But this is where the problem comes. Is okay. So I agree with Papi when it comes to the coach, but it also depends on their philosophy as a coach using youth players. I know I gone about Knutson a lot, but in Norway you have to use Norwegian players to an extent. That's what their registration rules are. So you have to use young players to come in, you know, for the homegrown rule. He goes to Ajax, he's used to using young players. He could adapt quicker than someone like Stein, who straight away we knew that he would not use any young players or enough of them. He will only stick with Davy Klaassen 5 weeks in a row, for example. And you have Mislintat, who instead of putting faith into the Ajax team or some youngsters in some positions, would go out and spend 100 million on young players from elsewhere anyway. So, it needs to all come together, doesn't it? Have a technical director who understands, you know, about bringing players through and really recognizes talent in terms of what the club needs, not what you... It almost seemed like Mislintat wanted to be the one that's seen as, oh, you signed Tahirovic, he's now world class, he's gone to Chelsea for 60 million. That was Mislintat that did that because he got it right with Lewandowski a couple of times and Aubameyang at Dortmund. That sounds like what he lived for, and you know, I might be wrong, but you know, it just never worked because it never gelled together. There was no one joint goal. I feel like one joint, you know, objective. Like, okay, we want to do this the Ajax way. It was all, I'll do my bit and then you do yours, and we'll see if it sticks together like two bits of Lego. And it just never worked, did it?
Yeah. Sahbi, we spoke about Pavimento when you were going away for a tea break and came back. Pavimento and Luc basically commented on the Tadic article, and they mentioned about the dressing room. They mentioned about also, you know, his remarks about Overmars, etc. Is there anything else that maybe stood out for you? Something very specific you want to really mention or elaborate on?
No, only the fact that I almost fully agree with everything he said in the article. It was too much for him. The burden was too much. The pressure was too much on his shoulders to drag the squad, to make decisions even on top level. And if you look at his age, if you look at the ambition that he still has, I would have probably made the same decision. It would have taken several years to get back to where he was at the level of Ajax. So, I mean, how many players did leave? 12, 13, maybe
Yeah,
even more.
something like that. Especially, I mean, 12, 13 in total, but at least 6 critical players, vital players in the starting 11.
And
you know, the one thing that he said. I mean, there were a couple of interesting points. Of course, you guys touched on a lot, but the one that I really I was like shaking my head and also scratching my head, was the one that he said, like,
Jim,
the physical trainers of Ajax had to ask the players if they would come to the gym, please, you know, because they were not coming to the gym anymore.
Well, in the past, it was like
it was full.
It was like it was normal. After the training, players went to the gym to do their exercise. Now nobody wants it. They want to go back home, play their PlayStation or something like that. It's ridiculous, and
you
I
know,
fully agree with Tadic on that.
Yeah, and we have a live example right here, right? We have Broby. If you look at Broby, and also today he gave there was an interview on Ajax Live, and he said that he's been working on his endurance, doing bicycle, cycling and these kind of things. But also he has been working on going to the gym, especially for his hamstrings, his knees, etc., like the muscles around his knees and everything like that. And we can see Broby becoming a better player in recent weeks.
100%.
So it does pay off.
Yeah, of course it does, and it annoys me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Quickly going through the comments again. Yusan is also saying, I'm a United supporter. We've spent over $1.5 billion and are complete shit because we have never had a structure, and clueless people running it and ruining it for Eric and Rock as well. Yeah, I mean, honestly, look, I think we'll be climbing up earlier than you guys, to be honest. I think you guys need a change of ownership, to be very honest with you.
That's what I meant. That's why I didn't fully agree with Papimento, like the coach, with the coach part. It starts at the top. I mean, Ten Hag, I consider Ten Hag a really good coach, and still he's not able to manage to do his thing at United, and it all has to do with the structure above him, the technical management, the owners, and so on. If you have the backing, if you have the things going that well, it will show as well.
Yeah, what do you think of? Yeah, you're talking about structure, right, at the club. So it seems like we've now decided to not have a technical director that does everything. So I'm just making it clear for everyone. But we have Beuker, who came in. He will look at the whole academy, like from academy until young Ajax, I think. And then there will be a separate person coming in who does the transfers.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a better choice for Ajax to separate those two?
I don't know.
That's fine.
This kind of structure, so I don't know.
That's fine as long as the communication within the team, within these two people are good. Not like the two scouts that never talked to each other for the last 10 years. If it's not that situation, we're good, because he can say, okay, these guys, they're close to the first team, don't get for these positions, and search for the others. If you have good communication, it's okay to have certain specialities within a club. I don't mind that. But when we look at, for instance, the United, I see also a problem in Ten Hag trying to making it work with the same players. For instance, players that I never thought would play under Ten Hag. So that's also a whole different story for me.
Maybe he's not getting. I mean, maybe he has to deal with those players. I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? So that's a bit different topic and subject. We should be invited to a United channel. We can talk more about United. So, all right, coming back to Ajax, I would like to echo what Mike is saying, guys. Please, last live stream. I know it wasn't. Everybody's pissed off. Everybody's tired. Everybody is like thinking about just closing the year off and going into the next year. But we really would appreciate if you guys could keep or bring the likes up to 30. That would be great. Thank you so much. Nuri is saying there are a lot of things going wrong at Ajax since the time of Overmars at Den Haag. Letting Schöne go, not signing Haller for Europa. Yeah, exactly. Not registering Haller for Europa League. Getting guys as Magallans and so on. Yes, absolutely. We've had a lot of things in recent years, to be honest. Actually, ever since we started this channel, to be honest, things are going downwards. I mean, honestly. I think somebody said early in the comments, I have to find
18-19, bro. The 18-19.
We started just after that.
Yeah, but
I'm not supposed to say that out loud, but we started just after the semifinal. We started doing this. So yeah. If is saying Ajax 2 years in a row trophyless, or can we bring Conference League for the as a vanity? Honestly, after today's performance, I don't know.
No positivity here for now.
The League Cup was the only cup that we might have won this season. Now I see ourselves trophyless.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing is also when we're offline, just about to go online, for the stream, I was talking to Luke and I said, looking at where we are right now, I mean, we're at 5th position in the league, but we still have like a lot of points to climb to be in the neighborhood basically of AZ and Twente, to go for the 3rd position. If we become 4th, winning the KNVB would have been better because then we directly qualified to the Europa League.
Now you have to playoffs.
Now if we get 4th, we have to go playoffs now. It's just, it's amazing, man. C1 is asking, let's switch the topics again. Let's talk about Super League quickly. There was a ruling today by the European Court of Justice, basically on competition law. And they said that the UEFA and FIFA cannot prohibit initiatives just like the Super League. What was funny, actually, I don't know, have another way of putting it, but after that decision was made, there was a marketing campaign coming out. Like they have the Super League has a new structure. They relaunched the previous idea basically a little bit because the previous idea was a little bit closed. It was a closed competition, but now it seems like they have also a model of a, like pyramid, and you can go from, I forgot what the names were.
It's blue, gold, and
blue, and you have something else. Yeah. I was laughing at the names, to be honest. But anyways, you could go up and down. That was basically the main difference. But throughout the day, there were a lot of clubs coming with official statement. I don't know if Ajax have done one. I don't think so. But a lot of clubs, just like Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Inter, Atalanta, Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, Manchester City, the ones that I've read at least.
Paris Saint-Germain.
I'm sorry?
Paris Saint-Germain as well.
Okay, I haven't seen Paris, but Paris also said we're not going to do a Super League. So it appears that Barcelona and Madrid really wants one, at least those two teams. So what do you guys think?
It gets Barcelona out of debt, doesn't it? That's what it does.
What?
It gets Barcelona out of debt. That's why they want to do it so much.
All right. So that's your input on the whole idea of what Madrid wants, because they're saying it's much more, it's better for the clubs. It gives the power back to the clubs. FIFA holds a lot of money, retains a lot of money, doesn't give the clubs the money from everything that happens on European football. What do you feel about it in general, Luke?
I think it's ridiculous. I hate UEFA with so much passion. They're the most corrupt, other than FIFA. They're both just as corrupt as each other. But at the same time, I'm huge on fair play. Back 10, 15, 20 years ago, when countries like the Netherlands were able to compete so far, we had like someone like Red Star Belgrade come to the Champions League, get so far, etc., because they was able to keep their players. And now, money is such a big thing for the big clubs. They could just buy whoever. They could buy like a wonder kid, keep them in their club for ages, done, right? So you bring in the Super League, so teams that would then finish 4th in England, for example, they're not going to be able to reach the same finances as someone like Arsenal if they were to join, or a big team that joins in the Premier League. So they're even further away. It separates all the big teams because of the money. And I don't buy what Perez says about it's not a monetized monopoly type thing, because it will always, all the money goes to the clubs. It means they can have even more money and buy even more players, and it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Saying that, I still think that UEFA are just as bad as anything. So it's like pick your poison to an extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sabi, what's your opinion on the Super League initiative?
I have not much to add to what Luke stated. It's clear. It's all about money. It's not for the fans anymore. It's not football related anymore. It's a business. It's a company. It's becoming to look only at revenues. I mean, Barcelona and Real Madrid are the front runners for this Super League, and those clubs are basically the clubs that have the highest debts. So it's a company who wants to have profit, and you got some Italian clubs who wants to get in as well. But from what I've read also on Twitter, yes, I keep saying it, Twitter, is that the majority of all the top clubs are rejecting the Super League. So which clubs will remain? Spurs, PSV,
but the thing is, but the thing is, to be honest with you, you can be very philosophical about what happened today, because the ruling basically says that the UEFA and the FIFA, they don't have a monopoly on the competition. So if the Super League, if the format of the Super League, this one, nobody wants to compete in that, it doesn't mean that something in the future might not happen. A different, league or tournament might come, or might be organized or set up by a couple of clubs that might get more, clubs involved. But the thing is that what I'm hoping of all of this, what's happening right now, is that FIFA and UEFA start making changes into their own organization.
They will.
Because of what's happening. Because this is also a sign that the clubs are not happy with them, with what they're doing.
It's a percentage of money that goes to the clubs. They get the clubs get 20% of what it makes. So it's ridiculous. And in some countries, there's a lot of money. For example, some of the Copenhagen, look how far they got in the Champions League. They'll get a substantial amount of money, right? But imagine how much more money they get if UEFA was a lot more fair with the percentage that they split, right? Yeah. So then these teams can then make the teams better, and then be able to challenge once again, And then some of these countries, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, that are like 12th, 13th in the coefficient rankings, their coefficients will go up. They'll get more plays in the Champions League. But because at the moment, I think England have 4, Spain have 4. It's just like, how can you compete?
If you just think about recently, there was just a news a couple of days ago about the World Cup for teams. We thought Ajax would be able to participate in something like that in the summer, and that's like a very big tournament with a lot of money, of course, that you can win. And for Ajax, this is very important to participate in as well. But all of a sudden, during the last meeting that they have before announcing it, they changed the ruling a little bit, which means we have no chance of participating. And the only Dutch club that can participate probably is PSV, but they have to win the Champions League this season.
But that's FIFA, as Luke said. It's all corrupt. Yeah. But
then my question would be, what's the difference between the Super League and what's happening right now? Because there's also something you could say about what's happening right now with the current Champions League format, and now with the World Cup teams, etc. You're seeing the same teams over and over. I mean, if you look at year in, year out, let's be honest, guys. What was the last club, not the traditional big clubs, that really had a chance to win the Champions League in recent years? Except maybe for us in recent years, but who else? Napoli, maybe, but they didn't do well at the end last year.
Wasn't Spurs in the final against Liverpool?
Against Liverpool, yeah.
But Spurs really an anomaly like Ajax is, Napoli is, or Porto?
No, not like Ajax, but in tradition, yes. Have they won anything? How big is their trophy?
Cabinet, the trophy cabinet. I don't think it's very full. But that's not the point. The point is, Spurs plays in the Premier League. They have a lot of money. They can buy a lot of players. That's different. I mean,
Inter Milan last year. Who really thought they would get to the final then? No.
Yeah, but they're still considered a big team.
It's not. Yeah, exactly.
No, I do understand what you're stating, Juan. But with this new format of this Super League, they don't have to qualify to play the Super League. They don't get relegated in this Super League.
According to the new one, according to the new setup,
they will go
down. They try to fine tune it, but in essence, nothing will really change. And there's no big difference between the Champions League now and the Super League. And uh, they're both corrupt. And I see this part as a pressure towards the Champions League to make some changes. And I hope it will happen in the near future.
But can we also discuss the elephant in the room? Because the biggest reason other clubs of other countries want this, and why Italian clubs want this, and Barca and Real, is because they
Money.
cannot compete with English Premier League anymore, and
Exactly.
the amount of money they're getting from
Eventually,
broadcasting.
Exactly.
yeah, eventually.
So I think that's the biggest reason. But if you want to make it more fair, then we have to start salary cap, team caps, etc.
TV revenue caps, everything.
Who should do that then? Who should do that then?
I mean, they're the governing body. I mean, in the States, is the NBA that does it for basketball. They should be the ones that do this. I mean, if we look at what kind of salary goes on these players, it's crazy sometimes. And all these clubs are struggling to get good players because it's not in their budget anymore to be paying these kind of salaries.
So you're saying the UEFA and FIFA should actually try to focus more on making it even playing field.
Absolutely.
I'm from back in the day, Juan. I'm from back in the day. I loved it when talent was spread out, that you could see every talent play. Now you see a lot of talents at one team, 11 of them on the bench, and 11 playing, but the rest of the teams don't have anything in other leagues. Look at the quality. It's much less.
Look at the perspective of Copenhagen. We'll go back onto them. So they beat Man United. Rooney Bargi, a 17-year-old right winger. Yeah, you watch Copenhagen beat United. You're like, wow, look at that young player. He's playing so well. I wonder how good he'll get. He'll get bought by Chelsea, loaned out 5 times. He'll be 25 years old, and he'll be like, where do I go? Vitesse? Do you know what I mean? Just like every other Chelsea player has gone on loan. It's ridiculous. But the problem lies in the TV revenue that every team in the Premier League gets. You get 80 million around that, I think, just for TV rights, right? You get prize money. It's absolutely ridiculous. You get parachute payments when you get relegated. West Ham, no one can say that Kudus and Alvarez went to West Ham with it being their biggest dream to play under David Moyes and at West Ham, right? But because of the money they can offer, it's absolutely ridiculous. West Ham and Nottingham Forest spending close to 100 or 150 million last season in the Premier League.
What's even happening? Yeah, what's happening even, in my opinion now, the Premier League clubs, especially the ones, let's say the top 8, let me put it the top 8, they barely buy from each other anymore because they're too expensive. So they go to buy players from the Championship or they buy players from outside because those clubs have so much money they don't have to sell anymore.
They don't have to
also
sell.
They cannot buy those players because then you have to pay like 100 million. That's the normal price right now in the Premier League.
Exactly. But then you can go to the Netherlands. Okay. So West Ham bought Kudus for 40 million, but then someone will get bought from in the Netherlands from like a Denmark or a Sweden for 3 million. Okay, look at Guy. Okay, he got bought for 3 million from Freiburg. Yeah. Okay, he then becomes the best right back in the league, for example. He was like 3 billion or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think it was Freiburg. And then say he gets bought for he becomes really, really good and gets like 20 assists in the Eredivisie, we hope. And then gets bought for 30 million. Okay, because they can. They could just chuck whatever money, and teams like the in the Eredivisie in Denmark can't turn down the money they're being offered. So then they make 3 million in Denmark because that helps their club run. Ajax then accept 30 million or so, for example, because it helps their club run, while the teams in the Premier League just laugh because they've got their best player on the bench, for example, or they're playing with them, and then they'll replace that player in 2 years. It's pathetic. It's really, really stupid. But it happens also in Bundesliga as also.
And also, that's why I'm so pissed at Ajax, because we were never the club that only buys. We were always the club that targets certain player that we need and that fits the Ajax system. And I feel like the last 2 years, we haven't done that. And it sets us back a lot with our transfer money, etc. And I don't know if we can recover, to be honest.
It doesn't only set us back. It doesn't set us back in terms of money. I don't think that's the biggest problem. It set us back that we have players with long-term contracts, and we don't know if we're ever going to make it to that level. So we have to dispose them one way or another. Maybe
make a loss,
make a loss,
and then find another player. So it's even worse.
True.
Yeah. But you also see now, Papi, is what we always did, like finding the right talents, 16 years old, 17 years old. You see now the plan of the big clubs is they try to copy the way Ajax did. They try to buy those type of players from Brazil, 16 years old, 17 years old, and not for 5 million, for 25 million, for 35 million. Uh, Endrick, who went to Real
Was
Madrid,
60, I think. I think he was 60, wasn't he?
But it's
the
not
guy
it's
is
not as
17 years
far.
old, I think.
But Sahbi, look, these teams are gonna buy these players, but these players are not gonna get the time to develop as well as they would do at Ajax. So
Yeah, but
Martin
look at,
they
for
don't
Odegaard.
instance, no, but
They
look at,
don't
for
care.
instance,
Their
at Martinez
the
and
agents make
Alvarez.
them
Just a
crazy.
sec. Let me just finish. Alvarez and Martinez, they came in, they needed time, at least 6 months at Ajax before they got to the level we would appreciate. And then after good performances, they went to the Premier League. If they went directly to the Premier League, I don't think they would be at this level. So
I'm
they
not,
also need the time to progress. Not all players are world talents, wonder
Yeah,
kids,
but
etc.
Papi,
I'm
And
not
we
hold on,
saying
hold
you're
on,
not
Papi.
right. You are
Yeah.
right, but I'm saying what the reality is at this moment. Players go to big clubs
Way
for the
too
money
early.
because of the agents,
Mm.
because the clubs are giving such a huge bid to a club like Santos or Grêmio or you name it. They accept the bid, and Ajax can't do anything about it unless they match that bid, which will never happen. And that's the reality at this moment.
Papi,
But
I
they want to
wanna
jump
ask-
ahead of the gun, don't they? They just want they just want to jump
Exactly.
ahead of the gun because they see a Haaland going to Dortmund for peanuts, a Jude Bellingham going to Dortmund for a certain amount of money, and then being sold for 100, 150 million or whatever. And
Yeah.
on top of that, to go side by side with it, players are leaving too early. And I agree with Papi that players need time to settle and learn. But everyone sees Kylian Mbappe and thinks, oh, look how quick he managed to make it at the top. I need to be that player. Gravenberch did the same. You know, he went to Bayern way too early, and they see a big team are interested. Their eyes light up. They think, I'm going to go and win the Champions League when I'm 18. That'd be fantastic. Not everyone could be a Kylian Mbappe. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's insane.
I just wanted to say to what Papi said as well. It's like the big clubs also, they have their satellite clubs. So they buy the player very young. They say, okay, you're a project.
call it.
Yeah, go there, play there in Belgium or somewhere else, and then we'll see how you progress. And then if you're good enough and you develop well, you'll be back with us in our team, yes or no. So that's also what's happening, which I think honestly also FIFA and UEFA not only looking at to have an even playing field, not only those caps are important, like salary caps or these kind of things, but also not allowing to have satellite clubs. That's insane, in my opinion.
Man City have so many. They have Girona, who are top of La Liga.
I mean, that,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's insane,
come
isn't
on.
it?
Yeah. All right. Let me go to the comments quickly, guys, on this particular topic as well. Mike is saying, gents, this is impossible. FIFA are too corrupt. So, all right. At least we're talking about it. So, Aiden is saying, I'm from Canada. Hockey, American football, and basketball all have salary caps.
Yeah, caps.
Caps, yes. Marina is saying, yeah, the American model, sports model, basically. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, the NBA.
The only thing I'm not sure of, can you do that over multiple countries in the AU? I don't know if you can be that kind of governing body because, you know, the sports there is in one country maybe or two at the max. Here it's a lot of countries that have to deal with the consequences if the UEFA sets things up like this.
Sorry, what do you mean? I didn't catch that.
With the salary caps, because when NBA came and introduced these caps, I don't think it went well. So it's gonna take a blowback as well if you come up with these changes in football, because these players are making so much money. Why would they ever accept this? Like,
but it needs to
the
be salary cap
caps.
per player. It needs to
If
be
it's
per
a
player
ruling,
because
yeah, but if it's a ruling, the players have no choice.
Yeah.
To be
yeah, but
honest.
it needs to be per player as well though, because in La Liga they have a certain like percentage of your revenue makes your wage bracket or something like that. So you can go and you could put all your highest wages in the best players, and then you could split it and have like 10 players on €1,000 a week or something like that to balance it. And even then, that's still, you know, that's what the Galacticos did 20 years ago. So even then, it just needs to be per player, and you can only offer so much per player. And then it, you know, then the players won't be so picky about it. They'll think more about the team and the club and the culture rather than, oh, I can make an extra £100,000 a week here.
Yeah. All right. I think we covered enough of the Super League. Thank you, guys. Let me go to a couple of final questions, final round. If anyone has a question for one of the panels, let me know. I'll raise it up as well. Sabi, let me start with you. Article of Football International. FC Metz is looking or is interested to loan back Miko Totze, who we signed in the summer from Metz. Would you do it? Would you want Ajax to loan him back to the club, to the French club?
Looking at the current situation, the fact that he doesn't play, and if he plays, he doesn't show his true value, it might be good for him to get back to the club where he did his thing, where he scored goals, gain confidence, and hopefully do well. And then we can choose to give him another chance or sell him maybe for a good, decent amount in the summer.
Puppy?
No, I wouldn't, because after today I saw his touches, his two-footedness, the way he cuts is actually pretty amazing. So I was like, okay, the technical capability is there. What is he missing? Is it tactical? Is it positioning? Is it the Ajax way? I don't think going back to your former team is going to help you in any way. So if you need to get more accustomed to the structure, put him in young Ajax, let him get some game time.
I don't think he can play for young Ajax. He's 23.
That's changed,
why.
of course.
Yeah.
That's horrible, because I think he needs just to get more understanding of the Ajax way, and he will be somebody that can be really useful to us.
So you're saying we have to be more patient with him?
More patient, and if he cannot play in young Ajax, he needs more experience. So maybe more friendly games, or mere, his tactical side is the weakness. He's not going to learn his tactical side on the Ajax way of playing if he goes back to that team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Luke?
No, I'd keep him, put him right wing, because I can't deal with Forbes playing there any longer or at all at the moment. But I fully agree that there's times where he looks like he could do something. But he's not going to get better unless he plays. I fully agree. And then you loan him back to France, different culture. He goes back into his comfort zone. He goes back to what he knows, rather than actually playing out of his comfort zone and taking the time to learn or adapt to it. And he needs to be afforded the time to adapt to it also by the coach and by the club, not just the fans. So,
does he fit the 4-3-3 system?
I'm telling you, if he played right wing, I think he'll be better than in the middle. In the middle, I feel like they just say to him, go and go free roam, do whatever you need to do, and he doesn't know what to do.
You want him to play like how sometimes
Berghaus does
play on the right side.
How Berghaus does, when they play, because Hilinson can then rotate and he can come inside, and there's movement to find space, right? But then when he plays down the middle, it's just like it just doesn't look right.
Every coach of him, and also within Ajax, they clearly stated he's a typical striker. He's not a winger. He will not do it for you as a winger. The chairman said it of Metz. His previous coach said it as well. So it's quite odd that the coaches are putting him in on the wings. And in terms of getting him back in his comfort zone, I see Miko Totze as a player who needs to be in a team that works out already, that works well, like in a warm bath.
Structured team. Yeah.
Structured team. He needs
but
that.
I feel this goes for almost all the players that we signed.
No, but obviously, right. The same applies for Sutalo, most likely. But with Miko Totze, for Sutalo, he needs to defend. That's his main objective. For Miko Totze, we expect a little bit more, I guess, because as a striker, you need to score goals, you need to hold the ball, you need to do so many things. And you can only do that when you have that real confidence and great players around you, or at least players who know how to play with each other. And it's a difficult situation right now, and I don't see it really changing at the moment.
I honestly think today I felt like he was trying to find his position, his rhythm a little bit with the team. But I do agree with Puppy. You do see things from Miko Totze on a technical level, individual level, that is pretty good. Also, the corner kick that we got, the one that he just, laid down and he shot, was almost a goal. He had another one, a rebound, which he almost scored. It was bounced back by a defender of Hercules. He was close of scoring 2 goals today. So I felt like,
that's okay.
Again, it doesn't excuse
Hercules.
the performance we played against amateurs. I understand that. So we'll see. Let me go through the final comments, and then we'll end the final stream of
final. Okay.
Tony is saying, will Bergwijn be sold in the winter? What do you guys
No.
think?
They can't afford
I
to,
hope
can they?
so.
I don't think
Why?
so.
I don't
think
think
that's
you
the
can
only
because
way to create some budget, Luke. That's the only way I would see
Yeah.
Bergwijn being sold.
I
don't.
I agree, but you need to look about. We need all the firepower. Unless there's someone there we can get in straight away and replace him. You need everything you can, and even if he offers a small amount, it's better than offering nothing. You know, than someone else in the team if they don't, for example. Yeah, you need as much experience as you can, because Amaricho played today, Van Sudongo, and he didn't really do much. So it's like, you know, Gotts is injured currently, might be back in the new year, which is great. But it's like, what else do you have on that side? So unless we could bring someone in straight away, then
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
I'll
I feel
blame
like Forbes, for instance, if he would have done better in recent games, then you might have argued, okay, we have Forbes on the left side, but I mean,
can we sell him
And
back
if-
for 40
if
million?
Gotts wasn't and if Gotts wasn't injured, I think he would have had a chance in this game as well.
And
Yeah.
don't forget, guys, there's a European Cup coming over in the summer. I don't think he will get. We would take that risk to make a transfer and then won't get selected for the national team. Look at Wijnaldum, where he went to the Sahara or whatever it is.
Saudi Arabia? He went to Saudi Arabia or
The desert. Sorry.
Saudi Arabia or other country?
Yeah, I think he went to Saudi Arabia, indeed. And you don't hear from him. He doesn't get selected, and there are a lot of positions available for the striker and the wing spots. So I don't think he will take that risk to go for a transfer.
All
Sorry,
right,
can I
we-
just
that's
sorry, one more. I just saw this comment. Can I make it clear that I would absolutely sell him if Saudi came in and offered the money? Absolutely, if there was someone to replace, I wouldn't want to just lose one player. That's my point. Is that
Okay.
if we could sell him and then Gotts was fit and could come in, no problem. But obviously he's injured and we got lack of wingers, or lack of quality. And I know he doesn't bring a lot of quality, really. But it's still better than having someone. If Gotts got injured again and then someone else gets injured, who do you have? Another young player or someone who, you know, can take a penalty in the time you need a penalty, for example, you know?
That's true, though.
So
He's making important penalties. I mean, no sarcasm here, but it's true.
No, I understand, but if it creates a little opportunity for you to work on your wing backs, on your CDM
yeah, for
player,
sure. If you can
then I
reinvest the
would say-
money, and
And
bring in more
if-
players, fine.
exactly.
because
If
he-
you can get defensively better by selling Bergwijn, yeah.
Yeah, because the element that we didn't really specify, we mentioned in the previous streams, but not this one, is that there are not a lot of options for us to sell in the winter break because a lot of players already play for 2 clubs this season. So we cannot sell. We can only do it if we sell them like outside of Europe. So if they go to the Middle East or the States or something like that, then it doesn't count. But
Yeah.
we cannot sell to other European clubs for the most players because we got them like in August, you know. And Progressivo is basically saying, guys, I heard about Atalanta making a bid of 50 million. I also read that. We didn't publish it because we thought like, yeah, but Atalanta cannot sign him because he already played for Dinamo and Ajax. So it's not going to happen.
And it's rejected anyway. So
Yeah, it's rejected as well. That's true. I have a question from Christian for you guys. If there's one highlight of this year for you guys, what would that be? Like, what would be? Look, I like that about Christian. Christian is trying to end the stream on a positive note. So, who has something? What was
a highlight can be negative as well, Juan. Just so you know.
It could be
be low light.
I think he wants to be positive.
Okay, good. Who's wants to start?
I can't.
I can start. So I have 2. It would be Hato, the rise and how important he's become, and seeing him progress for over the last year and a half or so since he joined the team has been really enjoyable because you can see him get better. And okay, today was an anomaly. You know, no one really played well. Okay, but the fact that now they're trusting him, because I remember speaking to Papi about this, about whether Hato could be used as a 6, and I was like a bit too early, but now that they're trusting him to sometimes come into midfield and go up with the ball, shows how much he's grown and how much more confident he's become on the ball, and that can only mean good things if he gets better passing. My second one is I backed Bobby a lot last year. I then criticized him at the start of the season, and now he's playing well. So I'm really happy that Bobby is has turned a corner, because I really like the way he plays, the way he holds the ball. I know sometimes it bounces off his chest and his knee and stuff, but over the last few weeks, his technique has got better. He traps it a lot better, and he's finishing a lot more chances. So that confidence that the club have put in him to start, and the endurance and the gym training he's doing to last 90 minutes, so it's not having as much toll on his legs, playing 90 minutes, it looks like it's paying off. So that's really enjoyable for me to see, because he always works hard. I always felt like he was lazy to an extent, but he's really proven me wrong that he's really working hard for the team, and it's one of the brightest sparks other than Hato for the team. So,
and Juan made the comment that he looked fitter, like he even lost more weight, or he looks more lean or thin.
Yeah, Robbie looks like he lost weight. Maybe it's me. I mean, maybe it's my glasses. I don't know.
Fogged up.
He looks lean, man.
Anyone wants to mention another highlight?
Well,
Yeah,
first
for
of
me.
all,
Sorry,
go ahead.
go.
No, I just want to say, first of all, Luke, keep criticizing players because apparently it works.
Not for
that's one
Bergwijn.
thing.
Not for Bergwijn.
Secondly, I mean, besides of course Hato, I would rather look at the broader picture. The highlight for me is having Alex Cruz as a CEO, knowing that he will come, and that many of the roles within management are filled, and that's my highlight, because that's something that was missing since more than a year now. So that's for me the highlight. Like, now we got some transparency, we got clarity, and hopefully from there on we can move on to a better future.
Papi, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit like Sahbi, but not the Cruz situation. For me, it started when Van Gaal and Michael van Praag were brought back to Ajax. It felt like the changing point for Ajax to structure, to get back to where they were, to set the right people back in place where they belong, and bring Ajax DNA back to the club. And I thought that was a great move, a little late, but that gave me the hope that we might be able to turn this around soon.
Yeah. Can I also give my highlight as a host?
Yeah, I was going to say one last question.
No question. I want to give a highlight. Is that
one last question for you? Is what we meant. What is your highlight?
All right. Thank you for asking this question. So I would go actually with what Anthony is saying here, and I will make it a bit broader as well. So he's saying the highlight of the first half, that there's every home game 55,300 people still coming. I think probably if I would highlight something, it's the fans, the Ajax fans, who have been going to the home games. Not even that. Also this week, it appears that Ajax has the most away fans going to matches as well from all the other clubs. And don't forget, this is one of the probably worst seasons, together with last year as well, that Ajax has had in a long time. I think that's really just, being positive to all the fans. I think it also shows like what type of fans the Ajax fans are. And also, if I take it away also from the stadium to our channel, to our Twitter account, but also here on YouTube, the support we've been getting still from everyone. And also, it wasn't always easy, to be honest, to do these streams in the last year. But we appreciate you guys, and we try to do our best. And thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. We really hope, though, that 2024 will be the turning point, that we will go to new highs again. And everybody is saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And the same to all of you. And thank you so much. I hope we have at least 30 likes for this video, just as a symbol. And we wish you all the best. We will be off for 2 weeks, to be honest. So we will be back in the second week of January with a live stream, right before we go and play our first game against Go Ahead Eagles, I believe.
Juan, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Can I just highlight the work that gets done behind the scenes for these streams? I know you said it's not easy, but for all the team and the technical team behind the scenes, they all know who they are. It's always lots of fun to come on here. So just want to highlight to the viewers as well that a lot of work is put into these streams, even after a really humiliating defeat, right? And a bad year, but we're always able to come on and have a nice laugh about something eventually, and they're really fun to be on. So just on behalf of me and the guests and the regulars that come on here, thank you to the weTalk Ajax crew behind the scenes, because it's a lot of fun.
Perfect.
Appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Great ending.
Well said, Luke. Here we go. Sahbi, Papimento, Luke, thank you so much for everything. And we'll see you guys next year. Viewers, please. I mean, just as a coping mechanism, what do you guys are planning to do? That's my final question to everyone. Just sorry, I have to give this
final question.
Your coping mechanism for next year. I mean, these 2 weeks that you're off, what are you going to do? Are you going to do something special to forget about Ajax, to cope with what we've been seeing in 2023, or what is it going to be like? Puppy, let me go with you first.
I hate losing before I go into a winter break because this will be on my mind till the next game. So
what will be coping mechanism? Because I have here somebody that said, let me get it real quick. Somebody said we have to watch the Aquaman movie. Oh, here we go. Keith said, "Merry Christmas, everyone. Watch Aquaman movie and stay positive for half season in 2024." What do you think? How about that?
That's going to take a lot of alcohol, man. A lot of alcohol.
A lot of food.
A lot of food for you.
A lot of alcohol probably for you, Mike.
Ben and Jerry's here as well. Everything is possible.
Ben and Jerry's. Nice.
Yeah. All right. Luke, your answer. Just your answer, and we'll call it quits.
Grow my hair out again so I can pull it out again for the next season.
You won't have hair on the next stream.
No, it won't grow back that quickly. I'll try and grow some, but maybe, and see. But then it looks awful with awkward face.
Okay. Well, here's a challenge. We're gonna clip this one. If Ajax become third in the league this season, will you grow your hair in the summer?
If they finish third,
yes.
What and grow it for the whole until the new season starts?
No, just a little bit, not the whole, but just grow it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll grow it a little bit so you can see how it looks like I've been on the streets for like 4 weeks. So I'll do it for you.
All right. Everybody have seen this. Okay, so if we become third this season, Luke is gonna grow his hair, guys. All right. With this, have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year. Bye.
Take care.